Warrior with the hands, that's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Pay back in every word. Plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit out blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now they walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas mad and breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas bad and fat, so I better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. YAHANNA say I come full, no room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down with something. Flow so deep, you drown a motherfucker. He said he in the truth, oh yeah, well this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't even this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing, gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she's so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they dead and far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about the shit I used to do in that 98 Navy. The tan never cease. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter. The lies are sweet. Tried everything. I guess me and YAHANNA had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak, and teach both my little girls that they ain't lie with a man. They better bring in blood bed sheets. Chaos match the time. This blunt match my handpiece, and I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. She called me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. I.S.U.P.K set up, I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I want that straight lane to break the chains. Loyal to the king. The devils can't have me. Bitch, I'm loyal to the king. Bring that hot flame. You be say loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I want that straight lane to break the chains. Loyal to the king. The devils can't have me. Bitch, I'm loyal to the king. Bring that hot flame. You be say loyal to the king. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my house. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. I'm in a hell of a hole. was never expected to grow. Just also who stand up road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The web as a devil was known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, saved facility, hate, and slavery. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me, making this slavery better my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. In fact, that them years astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king in the angel, be ready to rap, cracking the sky. Nuclear missiles are making it visual, I'm capturing every crack of surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And if the whole world seated with them in the cages, they go in the streets. Put the dog on the leash, get resolved for the beach. 144, get the brutal show, we could all be a beach. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your king will be busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. Look, ain't no remorse in my blood now. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be 10-5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback, come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you feel the Lord. Fuck the cartel. Triangle choker, plot purpose to the gang. I got this barbell. Payback's a bitch in a dress. She a bomb change and serve cold. I just hope they make it hospital. Glock fresh out the box. I swear got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mass shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through it. And damn, my king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They want my jealous, I want a brand new pair of fellas. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. My nigga, we be flying fuck you know them bitches be talking my niggas. That shit I never changing, it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my niggas say. Oh, bitch, I'm grown on these streets and close caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me in my heart, I'm gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, the truth, the shit. Nigga play out at that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? On who with it? Ain't got no manners, all them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be a army and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. sisters and brothers because I love them. I see them dapping and hugging. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from my life of sin, trapping and go. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. But why take your life fully? You take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man living get old. We in them graves. Shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth, we rejected, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be a honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be a honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon.
Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We were led by the amazing Commander General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any Israelite groups, any individual lights, any Christian churches, or any of these people you may see out there preaching on the street. If they're not I.S.U.P.K, they are not in the truth. All right. Today, I'll hold it down for Officer Knock again, and the title of the class is Soul Sisters Volume 3, A Mother's Love. And there you go. No, sir. You ready? Kind of, you ready to take it?
Yeah.
Come.
You love her?
I'm going to watch.
Who's going to? Okay. All right. This your phone ring? All right. So you said, what was you just started the class?
Yeah.
Most not crazy. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go into today's topic. Y'all know once again who we are. Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. We teach Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans about the Bible. Go into these records called the Bible and find out the truth or dispel any lies that you may have heard or may have been told by any religious instruction or people or what you heard just throughout your life. We dispel any of those lies and we teach the truth of the Bible. Today we're gonna go in the Bible and find out a couple stories that men and women should hear, but mainly women. Today we're gonna go into not motherhood, but more so the stories of mothers in the Bible and how they dealt with their children or their sons or their daughter or somebody who wasn't their child. Maybe a daughter-in-law, a stepson. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible. Hey, if you can get our Bible.
Come.
All right. That's the big one right there. All right, if I could, you could grab me a water. You got any water?
Come, that's it.
All right, bet. So, all right, so this Soul Sisters Part 3. A Mother's Love. All right. That's what it's called, right? Mother's Love?
Come.
Something like that?
Something like that. Mother's love. Come.
All right, so let's start with Exodus. That's your ringtone?
Gotta be some annoyance up here.
That's any ringtone. We got sound online, right?
Come.
All right, bet. So let's start with Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. Hey, Yakuba, you read?
Come.
What you cooking?
What is the matter? Huh? It's one of your phones. Why don't you put your earphones over?
Let me know you got it. And if we got any questions online, or if you got any questions, you can type them in online. And the brother asked me out loud.
That is getting cut.
Chapter 2, verse 1.
But
And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took the.
you know what? Hold on. Let's start at 1 and 15.
One thing.
Yeah. No, you know what? Go to 2 and 1.
Okay. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to wife a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. And the woman conceived, and bare a son.
Mm-hmm.
And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child,
Mm-hmm.
she hid him 3 months.
So this woman, you know what I'm saying, she was a daughter of Levi, and she Exodus 2 and 1. Second book of the Bible. So this woman was a daughter of Levi, right? Meaning she was of the tribe that was responsible for the priesthood, right? So she was a daughter of Levi, and she married a man of Levi. Then when she had this child, she hid him. She saw it was a good child. She hid him for 3 months. Let's find out why. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And when she could not longer hide him,
Mm-hmm.
she took for him an ark of bulrushes,
Mm-hmm.
and daub with slime,
Mm-hmm.
and with perch,
With the pitch. Mm-hmm.
and put the child therein.
So she made a basket. So the child was, young. When the child got to about 3 months and she couldn't hide him no more, she made a basket with slime and made a pitch and put him in the basket. Go ahead.
And she laid it in the flats
Mm-hmm.
by the river's brink.
Go ahead. So it's like she put him in the river. She made a basket for him, a basket that can float, and sent him down the river. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And his sister stood afar off
Mm-hmm.
to wit what would be done to him.
So now, somebody standing far off, like, damn, I wonder what's going to happen to that baby. You know what I'm saying, Lord be with that baby. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river,
Mm-hmm.
and her maidens walked along by the riverside.
Mm-hmm.
And when she saw the ark among the flags,
Mm-hmm.
she sent her maid to fetch it.
Go ahead.
And when she, verse 6. And when she had opened it, she saw the child,
Mm-hmm.
and behold, the babe wept.
So now, the mom made a basket and sent the baby down the river, right? And y'all let me know if y'all get it, so we don't gotta explain it. So the mom made a basket, put the baby, we had Exodus chapter 2, verse at the end of verse 5. So Exodus chapter 2, at the end of verse 5. Got it? So she made a basket, put the baby in the river, and let the baby go. So now Pharaoh's daughter come to the river, and she got her maidens with her, or her gang, her squad, right? Her, I don't want to call it her servants, but she got her squad with her, right? So when they get to the river, she see the baby in the river, and she sent one of her maidens to go get the baby out the river. Go ahead.
And she said, compassion on him. She had compassion on him.
So we're in the middle of verse 6. So she grabbed the baby, she opened it, and she had compassion, meaning she cared about the baby. She was like, oh my God, who left this baby here? What's wrong with this baby? Go ahead.
And said, this is one of the Hebrews' children.
She knew this, mind you, this is Pharaoh's daughter. So this is an Egyptian woman. And she said, this is a Hebrew child. She knew the difference. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
shall I go and call to three a nurse of the Hebrew women?
Now, a sister is an Israelite woman, right? So she said, shall I go and call a nurse of the Hebrew women? Go ahead.
That she may nurse the babe, nurse the child for a baby.
Go ahead.
Verse 8, Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mom.
So now his mother put the baby in the water, and the sister stood off and watched. When Pharaoh's daughter came and found the baby, that sister went to go get the child's mother. Right? Keep going.
And verse 9, and Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages.
So now this is like, what you call it when you take care of somebody in your family? A home nurse, a home health aide? This is home health aide. This is her son. Oh, damn, I got this pick in my head. This is her son, right? And now she's getting paid to watch her son. And we're going to find out how vicious this story is in a little bit. We're going to find out just how vicious. It's already vicious. It's already insane. But we're going to find out just how much more thorough she is for this. Go ahead.
And the woman took the child and nursed him. Verse 10, and the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. So
now once she raised the child, she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter. And now it's Pharaoh's daughter's son. And she named the child Moses. Go ahead.
And she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water.
All right, so now let's go back to verse 15, 1 and 15. Go back to 1 and 15. Let's find out why she put him in the water. Why did she hide him? Why did she feel like it was necessary to hide him? Matter of fact, let me ask that. Why did she hide him? Why did she put him in the water? Anybody? All right, let's go back to 1 and 15. Let's read that.
This is Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake.
You got the answer?
Yeah.
You read it?
Yeah.
How you gonna read ahead and answer the question? She gonna read ahead, sneak read, then answer the question. All right, what you got? Go ahead.
It says here in verse 16, that if it be a son, he was to be killed.
Yep.
But if it was a daughter, then she shall live.
Let's read it. Go ahead. Read from verse 15.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew wives.
So what's a midwife? If I could, what's a midwife? How about?
I think that's the person. She's one of the people that help like coach you or walk you through the laboring process.
What would it be called today?
A midwife.
A midwife or something like a doula, right?
I think those two are separate.
So you said what?
I think those two are separate, but I can research for you.
Okay, no sweat. Well, either way, you know what I'm saying? She's with a midwife is somebody that helps you deliver the baby, that helps you through the process of bringing your child through the matrix, right? So now, read from verse 15. Go ahead.
It's book of Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwife, of which the name of the one was Shapara, and the name of the other was Hawa. Verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women,
Go ahead.
and see them up to stools.
So when you do the office of a midwife, when you do this job, and you see the woman upon the stool, which is like the table where the woman gives birth at, right? When you see the woman upon the stools, go ahead.
If it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
So the Pharaoh told the Hebrew woman, if it's a son, if it's a boy, then you kill that baby. Go ahead.
But if it be a daughter,
then shall she slap, and she shall live.
Now, why is this? Why do he want the sons to die and the daughters to live? This is the first form of abortion in the Bible. This is called abortion. This is the baby being aborted. If the son is a boy, or if the baby is because they didn't know what the baby was at 20 weeks or 22 weeks. If the son was born, it was a baby. If it was a boy, you kill it because they was trying to get rid of Israel as a nation. This is during Egyptian captivity. Pharaoh was trying to get rid of Israel. So he said, if it's a boy, you kill it. Why? Because he's going to grow up and have children and make their bloodline live on. But the women, we can have the woman. The bloodline don't pass through the woman. So we'll keep that woman. You just get rid of their boys or their men. He's trying to wipe us out as a nation. But this woman, this mother right here, she said, hell no. Fuck, excuse my language, damn that. She gonna make a little basket and she gonna hide her child. She hid him in the river. And then she let the Pharaoh's daughter find her. And then she raised her child and got paid for it. Now that's crazy. That's insane.
So the Pharaoh is the one that basically put the hit out on all men child.
Absolutely. Pharaoh was like Donald Trump of today.
But he let his daughter raise a child, or raise a man child.
Yes, because it was his daughter.
Favoritism, nepotism.
Yes. And she can get what she wants because she's his daughter. So his daughter coming to him like, you take this child and you raise it. And then when the child get old enough, I want it back. Think slavery. This is slavery. It's like 1700. You know what I'm saying? Little Emily, you know what I'm saying? She see one of the nigger babies and she wants one, right? And she says, you know what? I'm gonna help raise this little nigger baby. And they like, whatever, go ahead, Emily. You know what I'm saying? You can raise the baby. And they let Emily get special privileges because she's better than it. She's better than the slaves. You know what I'm saying? And she gets what she wants because she's a baby. Or she's a girl. It's a lot. You know how I go. You know how I go, right? I mean, all right. Any questions on that? Slocky, read this last verse. Read verse 17.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
But the midwives feared God.
Mm-hmm. They did what?
Feared God.
Go ahead.
And did not as the king of Egypt commanded,
Mm-hmm.
but saved the men child. So I saved the men children alive.
So the water for them, you know what I'm saying? Because they listen to the Lord. They ain't listening to Pharaoh. They like, man, damn Pharaoh, we're going to save our nation. You know what I mean? They still strong. Keep going.
Verse 18. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing
Mm-hmm.
and have saved the men children alive?
Go ahead.
Verse 19. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women,
Mm-hmm.
for they are light
Mm-hmm.
and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20.
So he said these Hebrew women is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Their delivery is insane. So we gotta go help them. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Therefore God dealt well with the midwives,
Mm-hmm.
and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty.
Go ahead.
Verse 21. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God,
Mm-hmm.
that he made them houses.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 22. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born, ye shall cast into the river,
Mm-hmm.
and every daughter ye shall save alive.
So that's how they was killing these babies, just throwing them in the river. I mean, so this one baby was thrown into the river, but he survived. All right, let's get Judges chapter 13, verse 2.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 13, verse 2.
All right, give everybody a chance to get it.
Everybody there?
Nah, everybody a chance to get it.
Chapter what?
Judges chapter 13, verse 2. Got it? You ready? All right, go ahead, Yakaba.
This was Judges chapter 13, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And there was a certain man of Zerah,
Mm-hmm.
of the family of Danites,
Danites. Mm-hmm.
whose name was Manoah,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife was barren, and bare not.
All right. So this is the mother and father of Samson, right? Samson became somebody great in the Bible. Samson, judges mean deliverer. So when Samson grew, he wanted to get a wife that was a heathen. He went to go get her, and he was with her for a while. And then the woman, when he left her, her dad married her to somebody else. And he was like, man, what the hell is this? So he snapped on the Philistines, which was the ruling body. This was like the Egyptians in the last story we just read. So the Philistines was like our oppressor. So he had the Philistine woman, and he killed the Philistine. I believe he killed their whole family or something like that, right? So they went to go turn them in to the Philistines. And when he turned them in, Samson killed like 300 men with a donkey jawbone. Samson was vicious, but he let his guard down to a woman. He fell victim or weak to a woman. But Samson becoming somebody great. This is the story on how he was conceived. So you can go ahead and read Judges 13 and 2. I'll start at verse 3. Yeah, Judges 13, verse 3.
Judges 13, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the angels of the Lord appeared unto the woman
Mm-hmm.
and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren,
Mm-hmm.
and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son.
So now there was a Shalom Christ. So now this was before you knew what the child was, right? Like today we can go get an ultrasound. You'll find out what the baby is. But at this point, this man of the Lord came while the baby was in her stomach. And he said, Behold, you're going to bear a son. And he told her what she was going to have before she had it, right? Which is how you know this was the angel of the Lord, right? So this angel came into her and said, Behold, you're going to bear a son. He said, you're barren, which means you can't have a child, right? But you're going to have a son. So when you get pregnant, when you have a child, it's going to be a son. Go ahead.
Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine, nor strong drink,
Mm-hmm.
and eat not any unclean thing.
Go ahead.
For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son,
Mm-hmm.
and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite.
And we're familiar with a vow of a Nazarite, right? Nazarite is somebody. It's like a oath you make to the Lord. You say, this child right here is not going to drink anything, or razor is not going to come upon his head. And you take either the vow of Nazarite till you either die or till you just break your vow, right? Samson broke his vow. He didn't keep the vow of Nazarite. He broke it. All right. So keep on. That's what this was about.
Unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines.
Go ahead.
Then the woman came and told her husband,
Mm-hmm.
saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God.
So now this woman, they call her the woman. They don't even give her name. So the woman comes to her husband. So the angel comes to her and is like, yo, you're going to bear a son. You're going to have a son. And when you do have a son, he's going to have a vow of Nazarite. Don't cut his hair with no razors, and don't drink no strong drink. Don't eat any unclean thing. Which makes me think that this woman was not an Israelite, right? Because it calls her the woman, and it tells her not to eat any unclean thing. Not sure about that, but that's my own personal thing. So lock it, all right? So now, this woman says, she goes to her husband and say, Manoah. She goes with him and say, yo, a man came to me, but the man had the appearance of an angel of God. He looked like an angel. Keep going.
And his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God.
Go ahead.
Very terrible.
Very what?
Very terrible.
He was very terrible. Like when you see an angel of the Lord, it ain't a baby with wings and a bow and arrow. It's terrible. Go ahead.
But I asked him not whence he was.
So she didn't ask him who he was or where he come from. Go ahead.
Neither told he me his name.
And he didn't tell me his name. Go ahead.
But he said unto me, behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and thou drink no wine, nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Then Manoah entreated the Lord and said,
so he begged the Lord. Go ahead.
O my Lord, let the man of God which thou didst send come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born.
Now we gotta think, in these old times, this is like, it ain't no school, it ain't like this. You know what I mean? Just think General Muhammad walking by, right? And you sitting there weeping, and you're like, damn, I ain't gonna have no kids, right? Because what do women want in 1300 BC? Women wanted in 1300 BC, but this woman wanted a child, right? And so General Muhammad walks by and he said, don't worry, you're gonna have a child. And when you bear a son, just do the right thing. Don't drink no wine, don't eat anything unclean, and make sure when you raise him to have a vow of a Nazarite, right? And so she ran to tell her husband, like, yo, somebody came talk to me, but he was like terrible. Like he looked scary as hell. He looked like he might represent the most high people, the Israelites, right? He looked like he might be an Israelite, an angel of the Lord. He told me something, he told me that we're gonna have a son. And the husband like, you ain't had a child in years. You never had a child. You 30-something, 40-something years old, and you haven't had any children. So he like, oh my, I want to see this man again. Let me see this man. I want to talk to this man. I want to see the brother, right? I want to see the man you call General Muhammad. You know, you dig what I'm saying? Just think about it like that. Just try to paint it in your mind as something that can happen today, right? So now Manoah wants to meet this man. Go ahead.
Then Manoah entreated the Lord and said, O my Lord, let the man of God which thou didst send come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born.
Right.
Verse 9. And God hearkened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again unto the woman as she sat in the field.
As she sat in the field, boy. So she's sitting outside. What's up? If you got any questions, you got your hand up?
No.
Okay, if you got any questions, the microphone is back there. All right. So as this woman sitting in the field, the man shows back up. She sees him again. Go ahead.
But Manoah, her husband, was not with her. Verse 10. And the woman made haste and ran.
So she hurried up. Go ahead.
And shewed her husband.
And showed her husband. She's like, look, there you go right there. Go ahead.
And said unto him, behold, the man hath appeared unto me that came unto me the other day.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. And Manoah arose and went after his wife.
Go ahead.
And came to the man and said unto him, art thou the man that spaketh?
Speaketh. When you say speaketh.
Speaketh unto the woman. And and he said, I am.
He said, are you the man that spoke to my wife the other day? And he was like, yeah, that was me. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And Manoah said, now let thy words come to pass.
Now he said, if you're a prophet, I want to see those words come to pass. I want to see this thing happen. Now, if it does happen, then surely you are a prophet. But if it don't happen, we'll see. What?
And Manoah said, now let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child? And how shall we do unto him?
Right. So now he's saying, if your words come to pass, if it does happen, if we do have a son, Even though my wife is barren, she hasn't had any children. If it does happen, what should we do in those days? Go ahead.
Verse 13. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah,
Mm-hmm.
Of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware.
Mm-hmm. Now, let her make sure she does what I tell her to do. Make sure she does not drink wine or strong drink, because I know she would. Make sure she won't eat any unclean thing, because I know she would. Just do what I told her to do. Go ahead.
Verse 14. She may not eat anything that cometh of the vine,
Mm-hmm.
neither let her drink wine or strong drink,
Go ahead.
nor eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee until we shall have made ready a kid for thee.
What's a kid?
A goat.
A goat. He said, let's cook. Can we cook for you? Let us detain you. Let us hold you. Let's cook you something for dinner. Can you stay for dinner? That's what he asked him. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Though thou detain me, I will not eat any of thy bread.
Mm-hmm.
And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Now, the word angel in Hebrew is malakia, which means messenger, right? So this is a messenger of the Lord. That's why they call it an angel. Keep going.
Verse 17. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, Why is thy name
What is thy name?
what is thy name that when thy saying come to pass, we may do thee honor.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Why askest thou thus after my name,
Mm-hmm.
seeing it is secret?
Mm-hmm. So he like, why you want to know my name, man? So now when Noah's trying to offer him something to eat, he turns it down. He's trying to ask him his name. He don't tell him his name. Keep going.
Verse 19. So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And the angel did wondrously.
Mm-hmm.
And Manoah and his wife looked on.
So now they put a goat on a rock and they burn it. They offer it to the Lord, right? They burn it up. This is the one they're gonna burn and give to the Lord. Boom. So now they looking at the fire, right? And the angel of the Lord did something crazy, something wonderful, right? As the wife and Manoah was looking. Go ahead.
Verse 20. For it come to pass, when the flame went up towards heaven from the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it and fell on their faces to the ground.
Go ahead.
Verse 21. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord.
So now this brother that was standing beside him, he's talking to them, and they like, Manoah is like, now if it does happen, what should I do? Now, if these sayings do happen, that's some form of doubt, right? So Manoah like, all right, if it does happen, how should we treat the son? How should we do A, B, and C? And he like, all right, no sweat. So they looking at the fire. He said, don't offer it to me, offer it to the Lord. So they looking at the fire, and the angel jumped in the fire and went in the sky. And they looking, it was like, hey, yo, right? So now they look at each other, and it's like, what? So they both fall on their face and start praying, because they knew at this point, that was an angel. That wasn't no man. Like, what just happened, there had to be the Lord. Mind you, she was barren. He gonna say, yeah, you're gonna have a baby, and the baby gonna be a son, and do these things. And she like, all right. She gonna tell her husband. And her husband like, yeah, all right, whatever. And then this nigga jumps in the flame and goes in the sky. And they like, yo, maybe that baby is coming. Keep going.
Verse 22. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die, because we have seen God.
They like, yo, that was insane. Like, we're going to die. Why? Because if you say something like this is blasphemy, and you could get stoned, right? So you couldn't say something like this happened, right? You know what I mean? It's like talking about something crazy. You know what I mean? So they're like, yeah, we're going to die. Like, either the Lord is going to take our soul, or something insane is about to happen to us because we just seen a nigga jump in the fire, right? So we see the things that we see today, miracles that we see today. How can I put it? We see miracles today, but it's not. It's, how can I put this? You wake up in the morning and you broke his head, and you just wake up in the morning and there's $300 in your account. You gonna be like, oh my God, that's a miracle, right? Because it's like, how did this get into my bank account? Or somebody helps you and you didn't expect them to help you, and you pull up on the side of the road and a tow truck just happens to pull beside you, and it just happened to be right there, and then you like, and then they just happen to be giving a free tow on your whatever app you got, and then you just happen to get towed to a spot that's open 24 hours, and then you just happen to have just enough money. And it's like, this is a miracle. Like, the Lord is doing this. This is a unfortunate or a fortunate series of events that just happened. Those are miracles today. Things that the Lord just opened up, right? The opposite is a curse or a stumbling block, where you just having a super bad day. You just, nothing goes right. You get a flat tire, then your car died, then your phone died, and then you get fired from work, and then, you know what I'm saying, you walking on the street and somebody splashed water on you. You think what I'm saying? It's just like a bad day. Those are curses. You know what I'm saying? Those are a stumbling block. And you got to find out, what did you do wrong? Right? So at this point in time, Manoah and his wife seen some dude tell them they're going to have a baby and hop in the fire. And of course, she did the right thing. She did what was necessary for that son to be born. That son became Samson, who was to deliver us out of the captivity of the Philistines, which he did. Samson did something amazing. Even though he married a heathen, that him marrying that heathen was the beginning of him being great. And that heathen was given to another man, and Samson went crazy. But then some heathen wound up braiding his hair, and Samson was wild. Y'all go ahead and read about Samson, all right? That's so you can read for Samson from 14 to through 16. Samson stops at 17. Y'all go ahead and read about Samson. All right, so what are we going to put with this? Time is 7:40. All right. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this first. Give me Ruth 1:1. You let the young brother read it.
Ruth chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons.
All right, I'm here with you. All right, so, all right. There's a famine in the land. They went to dwell in the country of Moab, his wife and his 2 sons. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And the name of Elimelech.
The name was Elimelech.
Oh, and the name of the man was Elimelech.
Go ahead.
And the name of his wife, Naomi.
So it was a man and his wife. Naomi was his wife. Elimelech was the man. Go ahead.
And the name of his 2 sons, Mahlon and Chileon,
Mm-hmm.
Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah.
Okay, so now he had 2 sons, right? What?
And they came into the country of Moab
Mm-hmm.
and continued there.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died,
What?
and she was left, and her 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. And they took them wives of the women of Moab.
What?
The name of the one was Orpah,
Mm-hmm.
and the name of the other Ruth.
So now you had a man that came into a country with a wife and 2 sons. So the 2 sons took 2 wives, right? But the father died. Ruth is right before Samuel. Samuel. Right before the book of Samuel. All right. It's right after Judges. All right. So they got 2 wives, Ruth and Orpah, right? So it's a man with his wife, his 2 sons, and they got 2 wives. The man died. The father died. Go ahead.
And they dwelt there about 10 years.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Mahlon and Chileon died, also both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman was left of her 2 sons and her husband.
Now, her husband and her 2 sons died. So now you just have 3 women. All the wives are still there. Naomi and her 2 daughters-in-law. All right. What time is it? All right. Go into verse 8.
Ruth chapter 1, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, Go, return each to her mother's house.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord deal kindly with you,
Mm-hmm.
as ye have dealt with the dead and with me.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. The Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you, in the house of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with thee unto thy people.
So now they come from a different land. They come from the land of Moab, right? So now they saying to her, now mind you, Ruth was an Israelite because we couldn't marry other women, right? So now they said, no, we're going to go with you and your people. We're going to return with you and your people. We're not going to go back to Moab because we're not doing what they're doing. That's what they're saying to Naomi. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And Naomi said, Turn again, my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Why will ye go with me?
Right.
Are there yet any more sons in my womb?
So she's like, I don't got anything else to give you. I can't give you anything. Why are you going to go with me? Right? I'm just an old woman. My husband is dead. My sons are dead. Nothing else is coming out of my womb. You can't wait for none of my sons. Why are you going to go with me? That's what Naomi is saying to Ruth and Orpah. Go ahead.
That they may be your husbands.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. Turn again, my daughters. Go your way.
All right. Go down to verse 14.
Verse 14. And they lifted up their voice
Mm-hmm.
and wept again.
Mm-hmm.
And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
but Ruth clave unto her.
Now kiss is like she dapped her up or she hugged her and she left. She rolled out. Kiss is like a salute. She saluted her out. She said, hey, Yahweh Shema Alatah, I'm gone. She left. Orpah left. But Ruth ain't leave. Ruth clave. She stayed with her. She held on to it. Keep going.
Verse 15. And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is going back unto her people,
Mm-hmm.
and unto her gods.
Unto what?
And unto her
Go
gods.
ahead.
Return thou after thy sister-in-law.
Now, let's drop that. Give me 2 and 2. Hold on. Oh, keep going. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Wait, hold on. All right. Keep going. Go down to verse 2, chapter 2, verse 2. We might have to do a part 2 to this class. We might have to do a part 2. Part 2 to volume 3. Go ahead.
Ruth chapter 2.
No, go just keep reading there. We're just gonna just roll with it. Let's go. Ruth 1 and 16. Go ahead.
And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee,
Mm-hmm.
or to return from following after thee.
Mm-hmm.
For whither thou goest, I will go.
So she's saying, I'm gonna follow you, Naomi. I'm saying you help me become a better person. I want to be with you. Wherever you going, I'm going with you. Whatever you do, that's what I'm doing. Because she know what's back in Moab. She's gonna follow Naomi. Go ahead.
And where thou lodgest, I will lodge.
All right, hold on. Go to 2 and 1.
Ruth track.
So what it says in 19 from 16 through 22 was Ruth was known in the city. I mean, you know how I talk about virtuous woman, and it said she was known in the gates. That was Naomi. So like that was Naomi. Naomi was one of them. She was an old head in the city. Everybody knew her. So they're like, oh yeah, that's Naomi. What's up, Naomi? Like, so she's around, and it just gives us how Naomi was. She was an amazing woman. Now we reading the story right now, not about Ruth. We're reading it about Naomi. Naomi was the mother-in-law of Ruth, and the way she helped Ruth become a better woman is something that we should also read about. So we're reading about Naomi right now, not Ruth. All right. So 19 says, so they two went and read. God damn it, this time is killing me. We need like a 3-hour class. All right. Go to verse 20.
In chapter 1.
Yeah, 1 and 20.
Ruth chapter 1, verse 20.
Go ahead.
And she said unto them, call me not Naomi,
Mm-hmm.
call me Marah,
Mm-hmm.
for the Almighty hath dealt very bitterly with me.
That's what the name Marah means. No matter how you pronounce that, it means bitter. Or she said the Lord done bitterly with me. So she's saying, don't call me Naomi. She's like going down into her depression, right? Call me the Lord. The Lord dealt bitter with me. He took my sons and took my husband. But
Verse 21. I went out full, and the Lord hath brought me home again empty.
mm-hmm.
Why then call ye me Naomi?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the Lord hath testified against me,
But
and the Almighty hath afflicted me.
mm-hmm.
Verse 22. So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her,
Mm-hmm.
which returned out of the country of Moab.
Mm-hmm.
And they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest.
All right. So when they see Naomi in the city, they say, is that Naomi? She's like, nah, don't call me Naomi. You know what I'm saying, call me. Somebody knock on the door. You get the door? You can pick up. Let's do yeah, go 2 and 1. 2 and 1.
Ruth 2 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him in whose sight I shall find grace. She said unto her, go, my daughter. Verse 3, and she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers, and her hat was to light on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz.
So now Naomi had another person in the family, right? It was the next of kin. So now she see Boaz in the field, Shalom, Lord Christ. So Boaz is in the field, right? You lock that door back? So Boaz is in the field. She said, there's Boaz in the field, right? Go to verse 2.
Go back.
Yeah, 2 and 2.
And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi,
Mm-hmm.
let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him in whose sight I shall find grace.
So now she know the law. The law said you should go into the next of kin. So that's what Ruth was trying to do. She's trying to go to the next of kin. Let's make this long story short. So she gets around Boaz, and Boaz like, who is this? And like, that's the daughter of Naomi. That's Naomi's daughter-in-law, right? So now she's in front of Boaz. She offered him to go to verse 14.
Ruth, chapter 2, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And Boaz said unto her, At mealtime, come thou hither and eat the bread,
Mm-hmm.
and dip thy morsel in
Vinegar.
vinegar.
Yeah, this it's a love story right here.
You don't say that for.
This is giving me a hard time.
Jacobot, you good? You got a microphone back there?
Yeah.
All right. You want to keep reading?
I'll finish it.
All right, go ahead. Read down to 18.
Okay. She said, Dip thy morsel in vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
And she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her parched corn.
Mm-hmm.
And she did eat,
Mm-hmm.
and was sufficed and left.
So now he made it like cornmeal or pancake or whole cake. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And when she was risen up to glean,
Mm-hmm.
Boaz commanded his young men, saying, Let her glean even among the sheaves,
Mm-hmm.
and reproach her not.
Go ahead.
Verse 16. And let her fall also some of the handfuls of precious for her.
Drop down to verse 18.
Okay. Verse 18. And she took it up and went into the city, and her mother-in-law saw that she had gleaned,
Uh-huh.
and she brought forth and gave to her that she had reserved after she was sufficed.
So she brought home food, right? Go ahead.
19. And her mother-in-law said unto her, Where hast thou gleaned today?
Mm-hmm.
Where
wroughtest thou?
wroughtest thou?
Mm-hmm.
Blessed be he that did take knowledge of thee.
So she's saying, where did you get this from? I mean, whoever gave this to you, thank the Most High for him. Go ahead.
And she showed her mother-in-law with whom she had wrought,
Mm-hmm.
and said, The man's name with whom I wrought today is Boaz.
Mm-hmm.
And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be the Lord, who have not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin unto us,
Mm-hmm.
one of our next kinsmen.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruth the Moabitess said, He said unto me also, Thou shalt keep fast by my young men
Mm-hmm.
until they have ended all of my harvest.
Go ahead. So now you should stay by my men, right? And then they're going to help you too. They're going to give you some food too. So now he took favor into her and he gave her some food to take home with her, right? So now Naomi looking at this, she's like, yo, this is my next of kin, right? So the husband and the two sons died. So as an Israelite culture, you should go to the next of kin, whether a brother or something else in the family, right? So she's about to go, well, she's trying to get to Boaz because he's the next of kin. That's what Ruth was trying to do. She's not trying to get any other man. She's trying to keep her laws. She's trying to be right where she could be right in. So she's trying to get Boaz's attention. And Boaz got her attention. Or she got Boaz's attention. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And Naomi said unto Ruth, her daughter-in-law, It is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his
Mm-hmm.
maidens, and they meet not thee in any other field.
Don't go in any other field to glean or get food from. Stay with him. Go back to where he is. Keep going.
23. So she kept fast by the maidens of Boaz
Mm-hmm.
to glean unto the end of barley harvest
Mm-hmm.
and of wheat harvest,
Mm-hmm.
and dwelt with her mother-in-law.
Go ahead. Read down to verse 6.
Chapter 3, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read down to verse 6.
Read down to 3 and 6.
Okay.
Keep going.
Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest of thee,
Mm-hmm.
that it may be well with thee?
Mm-hmm.
And
She
now,
said, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? Go ahead.
and now it is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, he winnoweth
Mm-hmm.
barley to tonight in the threshing floor.
Mm-hmm.
Wash thyself
So
therefore.
he's not going to be with them tonight. He's going to be somewhere else. He's going to be here, right? So now go get washed. She giving her the game, right? She about to give her the old head game. Go ahead.
Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee.
She said, wash yourself, anoint thee with the oils, right? Put some oils on you, and put that raiment on. Wait, go ahead.
And get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man,
Go ahead.
until he shall have done eating and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall be when he lieth down, that shall mark the place where he shall lie.
So now don't deal with him until he's done eating and when he's drunk. When he's done drinking and eating, then you go over there with him. And wherever he lay down at, go lay with him. Go ahead.
And it shall be when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt go in and uncover his feet,
Mm-hmm.
and lay thee down,
Mm-hmm.
and he will tell thee what thou shalt do.
So she said, when you do get there, if you just lay down with him, then you'll find out your next move, because he's going to tell you the next move. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And she said unto her, all that thou sayest unto me, I will do.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And she went down unto the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her.
All right, so y'all, when y'all get the chance, y'all go ahead and read the rest of Ruth. You know what I'm saying? Ruth was a vicious story. Go ahead.
So basically, the mother-in-law knew her son, and she knew what would. She was basically telling her what
Give him the microphone.
So basically, her mother-in-law knew her son and knew how to accordingly please a man, accordingly, right?
Right, but Boaz wasn't her son.
Oh.
Boaz was family of what was her husband's name? Abimelech or Elimelech. So that was his next of kin or his family.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
okay. That's
So it was I forget how she was related to or how he was related to Elimelech, but damn, hold on. Actually, it's in here.
that's why she went to follow the next. Okay, that makes sense.
So what y'all got to read the rest of the story. So what she did was she ain't had no sex with him that night. You know what I'm saying? He went to get a counsel, and in the counsel he found out if he can have her, and it was somebody else, and he was like, "Listen, do you want to buy the lot, or do you want to?" I mean, I don't want to say like purchase the woman. You feel what I'm saying? But she came with something else, right? And the brother who had the opportunity said, "I don't want to take all that. I don't want those responsibilities." And then Boaz was like, "No sweat, I'll take it." And then that's when he got with Ruth, and he was with Ruth, and they was Tawab after that, right? So give me Ruth 4 and 11.
The water, sir.
No, no sweat.
Ruth 4 and 11. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts,
Mm-hmm.
if thou wilt indeed
You go 4 and 11.
look on the affliction of thine handmaid.
Yeah, Ruth 4 and 11.
Go ahead, bro. Take over. This book must be.
Hey, Yakaba, you got it.
This is the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people that were in the gates and the elders said, we are witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house, like Rachel and like Leah,
Mm-hmm.
which two did build the house of Israel.
All right, so let's go down to Rachel and Leah. All right, so this is where I want to get into. We're about to run through Genesis. We're about to go through Rachel, Rebecca, Leah. This is where the meat and potatoes is of the class. This is where I wanted to get to. It's a lot more that I want to get to, but this is really where I want to go. All right, so let's start with Genesis 29 to 28.
This is Genesis chapter 29, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also.
All right, so now this is Rachel and Leah, right? Story of Rachel and Leah, right? We're gonna start here in Genesis. Now, y'all familiar with who Rachel and Leah is, right? So now, Laban promised Jacob Rachel if he worked for him for 7 years, which is a long time, because if I got booked and I had to do 7 years, I'm gonna be like, man, come on, man. Come on. 7 years is a nice little. If I told you had to wait 7 years for something, like a car or something like that, you'd be like, 7 years is crazy, right? So now just think of 7 years. He did 7 years like it was a day, right? So now once he's ready to get read verse 22. Let's start at 22.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And the bond gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. Verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and brought her to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he went unto her.
So Jacob got drunk. So when Jacob was done the 7 years, he got Jacob drunk. And when Jacob was drunk, he thought he was about to get Rachel, but he gave Leah. So as he drunk, he all in the yams. He woke up the next morning, and it was not Rachel. It was Leah. Right? What?
Verse 24. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Isupk,
Mm-hmm.
his maid, for an handmaid.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me?
Mm-hmm.
Did not I serve with thee for Rachel?
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore then hast thou beguiled?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 26. And
So
Laban-
now you can understand how this will cause differences between Rachel and Leah, right? Because Rachel knew that she was going to be Jacob's during the 7 years, but it didn't happen, right? So now when the 7 years is over and he's with Leah, Rachel and Leah automatically got some type of disagreement. Now Rachel and Leah are the women or the mothers of the 12 tribes of Israel. These are the mothers of Jacob's children, right? So our history comes with struggle of men with multiple women, right? That's the fabric of our history, right? But as a mother, what we reading is we learning how to deal with this with any type of adversity. Because being a mother don't just come with, just having a baby. It's a lifestyle that you bring forth. You bringing forth nations, right? Give me that. Give me what is that? Give me Genesis 17 and 19. We're gonna come back to that. Give me Genesis 17 and 19.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And God said, Sarah, thy wife,
Mm-hmm.
shall bear thee a son indeed. That's like bear thee a son indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant.
Go ahead.
And with his seed after him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I bless him and will make him
fruitful,
Mm-hmm.
and will multiply him exceeding.
Mm-hmm.
12 princes shall he begot,
Mm-hmm.
and I will make him a great nation.
So now in her stomach, in her belly, right, she got nations, right? She's bringing forth races and multitudes of people. Now, in the woman's stomach today, she's just thinking it's just a child. But just imagine what this child will become in thousands of years. What is this child bloodline going to be from here into 1,000 years from now? You can have the next, who knows, in your stomach. That's how great the child is that's in a woman's stomach. That's how great the child is that we have as men. Like Abraham was a man that the Lord looked at. The Lord was pleased to look at Abraham. Isaac and Jacob was a man that the Lord was pleased to look at. So the children that they had were great children. But the mother had to deal with the two nations warring in her stomach of Jacob and Esau. Two nations warring in her stomach. Isaac and Rebekah. It's like, yeah, Isaac and Rebekah had to deal with Hagar, which was Ishmael's mother, right? These are women, she became the mother of the Arabs, you know what I'm saying? Which was when people who sold us into captivity. These women had the children who were the fabric of the world for the next 2,000 years, 4,000 years, right? Having a child isn't a small thing. Having a child is something that's far beyond what the mind can conceive, right? Far beyond that. It's not just a baby. It's somebody who's going to change the way the earth is from now on out. And as a man, when we grow our children, when we raise our seed, we got to understand that this child has a say-so. Who knows? Christ's mother, which, you know what I'm saying? Christ's mother, when Christ was born, Christ was a good kid. You know what I'm saying? She took care of him when he was born, right? We could get that too. Let's get that. Where's that at? That's in Matthew chapter. Give me that. And I don't mean to be jumping around, y'all. Y'all bear with me. Matthew or Luke? Luke. So when Christ was born, his mother took care of him. You know what I'm saying? They went to the Passover. And she raised him like she was supposed to raise him. He wasn't in, you know what I'm saying? Let's get Luke 2:6. Shalom, okay? What's going on? Yeah, I'm at the class right now. I'm teaching class right now. What? All right, okay. All right. Give me Luke 2:5. So the children that you're going to have are going to be somebody great if you take care of them and raise them right, right? And as a father, we have the duty, we have the responsibility, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that this child is raised right, right? But as a mother, you know what I'm saying, like it's like when we just read about Samson's mother. Don't eat any unclean thing. Don't drink any wine. Don't drink any liquor. The child is being made in your body. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're actually creating the child inside of your body. That's heavy. That's heavy, right? So I know I'm jumping all over the place. So let's get this real quick. Let's get Jesus' parents or Christ's parents 2 and 5.
On God. Luke chapter 2, verse 5. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
So she had a big belly, right? She was big pregnant. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And so it was that while there were while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. Verse 7. And she brought forth her firstborn son
Go ahead.
and wrapped him in swaddling clothes
Mm-hmm.
and laid him in a manner,
A manger.
it's like manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
So now it was a motel that they was up there. Mind you, this is during tax season, right? So they're going up once a year to Jerusalem. This is Passover, right? Like during tax season. They're going up to the city of David. When they get there, there's no room in the inn. There's no room in the hotel or the motel. So they in the manger, right? Now the manger is where the animals was. Now, you can't be in the manger if there's animals in there, right? So she's in the manger and the animals are outside, right? So now, when she have her baby in the manger, she swaddles him and wraps him up, right? Who keep reading, how about? We in Luke chapter 2, verse 8. Who got it? Who got Luke 2 and 8? If there's any questions off topic, y'all can ask the questions y'all got.
Luke. Luke chapter 2, verse 8.
Go ahead.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field,
Mm-hmm.
keeping watch over their flock by night.
Now, these men were out in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night, meaning the flock was outside at night. So the sheep, the horses, and whatever cattle was outside at night. It can't be cold because they're outside at night. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them,
Mm-hmm.
and the glory of the Lord shone round about them,
Mm-hmm.
and they were sore afraid.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
Drop down to verse 16.
Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And they came with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger.
So they come into the manger and they see them all laying down, right? The brand new baby, Mary, Joseph. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the same which was told them concerning this child.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18. And all they that had heard it wondered at those things which were told them by the shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
So as they talking, Mary thinking. She thinking. She listening to what they saying. She just watching. She paying attention. Drop down to verse 21.
Verse 21. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcising of the child,
And he was circumcised because the Lord said that he should get circumcised on the 8th day. Right? Mind you, as parents, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Go ahead.
his name was called Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And when the days of her purification, according to the law of Moses.
What are the days of purification according to the laws of Moses? How about? What are the days of purification? Anybody?
Oh,
Yeah, boy.
are you talking about when you have them, when you have kids?
Mhm.
40 days for boys, 80 for girls.
So now she kept the circumcision, right? The days of purification will be, if you have a boy, it's 40 days. If you have a girl, it's 80 days, right? You'll be, I won't say that word, but
You being clean.
unclean. It'll be unclean for 80 days for a girl and 40 days for a boy, right? So now her days of purification was over. Go ahead.
They brought him to Jerusalem
Mm-hmm.
to present him to the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. As it is written in the law of the Lord, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy to the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And to offer a sacrifice according to that which is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves, or 2 pigeons.
Drop down to verse 41.
Verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
So now y'all get it. So Christ's parents, they raised him right. You know what I'm saying? So he would go to the Passover, he read the scriptures. I'm saying he was a man that was in his studies. He went to school. You think I'm saying? He learned. His parents didn't have the streets raised him. You think I'm saying? He wasn't raised by such and such around the corner. His mom did the right thing. His father did the right thing. And they raised a good child. He was a good boy. You think what I'm saying? That's who Christ was. Now let's get back to Genesis real quick, right? All right. Let's get Genesis 29 and go ahead to 29, 28.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 28. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. Verse 29. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. Verse 30. And he went in also unto Rachel.
And after he got Rachel, go ahead.
And he loved also Rachel more than Leah.
Go ahead.
And served with him yet 7 other years. Verse 31. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren.
So now, Jacob loved Rachel more than Leah. And because the Lord knew that he loved Rachel more than Leah, he made Leah fruitful. And he prayed that we do, right? Because he loved one more. Now, there was already beefing, but now that Rachel came last, and she couldn't even have children. So just imagine how Rachel was feeling, right? She's beat down, she's depressed. Her sister Leah got him first, and she's able to have children. And Rachel and Jacob, they don't even look at their relationship like Leah and so like Rachel and Jacob look at Leah as an offset or a third wheel or you know what I'm saying, like they ostracize him. And Leah like, you know what? I don't even care because I'm gonna get mine. We about to read about Leah and Rachel, how them two sisters dealt with Jacob, their one husband, and their handmaids as well. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord had looked upon my affliction.
And her affliction was she was old. She figured she wouldn't have any children. She thought she wasn't going to be married. But the Lord heard her affliction. So her first son was Ra'al-ban, or Reuben, right? And that's what his name means. The Lord looked upon my affliction. Go ahead.
Now therefore my husband will love me.
So she had a son, and she's thinking, now my husband is going to love me because I've had his son, right? That's what Leah's thinking. Go ahead.
Verse 33. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord had heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon.
So now Simeon, right? The Lord have heard, but she's saying the Lord have heard that I was hated. So now she's naming these children in a certain kind of way, with a certain kind of spirit. Now, this isn't the type of love you want. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the type of love that we want. This ain't the relationships that we want to have, right? Where you got a woman that you don't like because you like another one better. And as she's having children, she's sneak dissing you with the child's name, right? So you're like, oh yeah, Simeon, that's a dope name. What that mean? Because the Lord knew that I was hated.
Yeah.
And he like, damn, that's what you named him? Yeah. Oh, all right. And he probably don't even care because she probably going through it. You know how we is when your woman going through it, you like, man, whatever. I'm about to go over here with Rachel. We're going to watch Power or something. You dig what I'm saying? Like, like he could have been more involved in a relationship with Leah, but he wasn't because he was engulfed with Rachel and how he worked 7 years and got duped, right? But we find out the name Jacob means the supplanter or somebody that hustles, right? He hustled Esau, got his birthright, boom. He hustled Laban and got out of captivity, which is Laban is Leah and Rachel's dad. He got out of that, you know what I'm saying, with them. Jacob was a hustler. But in this case right here, he was not doing the right thing. And these sisters, these women, these mothers, they knew it. They felt it. You dig what I'm saying? It was a bad move on Jacob's behalf. Keep going.
Verse 34. And she conceived again and bare a son and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me.
Joined unto me. Go ahead.
Because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
Go ahead.
Verse 35. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now I will praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Go ahead.
Therefore she called his name Judah.
Yahweh in the Hebrew. Lord Yah is Levi, Yahweh in the Hebrew. So now she's naming these children. So by the time she got to Judah, she said, now I'm just going to praise the Lord. Because she's understanding that giving Jacob sons is not helping the case. Because Jacob only want one thing at this point. Rachel. Go ahead.
And left barren.
So now after she had Judah, right? Or Yahweh died, the Lord closed her womb. So now she can't have any children. So go ahead. Let's find out what happened with Rachel.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
Man, y'all see the spirit on these two sisters, man? They fighting, bro. They is scrapping for Jacob's love. She like, yo, you gotta give me some children or I'ma die. Why? Because my sister got 4 of them. And I have none. Surely we love each other more. We got a better love than you and Leah. I love you way more than Leah loves you. She don't even love you. They hustled you. You don't care about her. She don't watch Power with you. You dig what I'm saying? She don't love you like, she don't make the tea like I make it. She don't do what I do for you. So now Rachel is throwing shots at Leah, his other wife, because he has children with her. She has what she wants. You dig what I'm saying? That's the spirit on these two women. That's what these two women are arguing and bickering about. To us, yeah, she got children, so what? He don't even care. But Rachel, that's all that matters to her. She has children and I don't. Give me children or I'ma die. That's where she's at. Keep going.
Verse 2. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel.
Now Jacob like, you know what? All right, I got you. What?
And he said, am I in God's stead?
Am I the Lord? Do I look like God to you? Go ahead.
Who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
I didn't make your womb close. It ain't my fault that you can have children. We Netflix and chill every night. You just ain't getting it. Something ain't clicking. It's not my fault. What you want me to do? The hell am I gonna do? Look up in there and see why it's not working? Like, what can Jacob do? And that's what he's saying to Rachel. Now, this is their argument. This is like just imagine like a 4,000-year-old argument. What happens thou? What if me do? You know what I'm saying? She's like, you know it's thou. You know what I'm saying? Like, she cussing them out in old English or whatever in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, man, you know what? I'm out. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And she said, behold, my maid.
She said, here's my maid, my handmaid, my servant, my friend, my homie. Go ahead.
Bilhah. Go in unto her.
Have sex with her. Go ahead.
And she shall bear upon my knee.
So go ahead.
That I may also have children by her.
So she says, take my wife, I'm gonna take my handmaid. Go in unto her. She's desperate at this point. Take this woman, make her your wife, and she gonna have a child, and then I'ma just raise the child. It's gonna be my child. This is desperation. This is how a woman, this is a mother's love, right? To us, we can't see it. We don't understand. We men, right? But as a woman, this is what makes her great. This is what gives her value. Having a child with Jacob, having a child by this man, having a bloodline, having something that can be remembered. That's all she wanted. All she wanted was to give Jacob children. She wanted it so bad that she gave him another woman to have sex with, other than Leah, and have children with her, and she'll just raise it. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife.
Good.
And Jacob went in unto her. Verse 5. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. Verse 6. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan.
Dan means judging me. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son.
So now Rachel was like, okay, she wanted another son. So now she sees that she can have children through her handmaid. So now she just knocking them out, right? All right, bet. You had one. Let's do it again. What?
Verse 8. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
Naphtali, meaning I have prevailed. What?
Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid.
Now, Zilpah is Leah's maid. So now Leah like, oh, damn, I see what you're doing. You having children through your handmaid, and I can't have children now. No sweat. So now Leah gives Jacob his handmaid. Now Jacob is just getting passed around right now. At this point in time, Jacob is just, oh, I'm going with you. Oh, okay, it's you tonight? Oh, no sweat. Which one of y'all? This one? Like, they just passing Jacob around at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, have children with her. I can't have children, so get Bilpah, get Zilpah. Just give me children. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. What are we to do? Jacob probably enjoyed himself. Who knows? Might be enjoying himself that night. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. Verse 11. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad.
Gad, meaning a troop. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. Verse 13. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher.
Asher, meaning happy am I. Keep going.
Verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field.
So now Reuben is the oldest son, right? So Reuben in the field during the time of wheat harvest, he's finding mandrakes. Mandrakes is like an aphrodisiac, sort of like,
Honey.
yes, he in the field looking for honey packs. He's in the field looking for some honey packs. Oh my God. That's it. That's it. He's looking for honey packs. Go ahead.
And brought them unto his mother Leah.
So Reuben get the honey packs, and he going to the corner store. He get the honey packs, right? So he bring them back to his mom, like, Mom, here go your honey packs. Go ahead.
Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrake.
So now he give them to Leah. So Leah got the honey pack. So she like, what's on Christ, right? And here come Rachel, she like, Leah, give me those honey packs. And Rachel look at the honey packs and look at Leah. Leah look at the Rachel. God damn it. Leah looks at the honey packs and then looks at Rachel. She's like, you want these honey packs? Go ahead.
Verse 15, and she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my
She's
husband?
like, not only do you have my husband, go ahead.
And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also?
Now you want these honey packs too? You got my husband and you want these honey packs too? Go ahead.
And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's
So
mandrakes.
she's like, all right, look, how about this? How about I give you Jacob tonight? And you just give me the honey packs. So Jacob at this point, Jacob is wow. This nigga's being tossed around. You know what I mean? But this story should hit home because it's a story of desperation. You dig what I'm saying? These women are desperate to be mothers. But their desperation bring forth something so great because we all from one of these children. One of us, we all from either Gad or Naphtali or Asher, Simeon, Judah, Levi. We all are from these children right here. This is the work that these women was putting in. Now, the motivation was off, but the work is there. They was working. They was putting Jacob to work. He was at Silly every day trying to find a new mattress for the crib because they didn't broke the last one. It's a lock here. You think what I'm saying? Like they putting Jacob to work because they want what he has, which is children. Go ahead.
Verse 16, and Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in unto me.
So now she go out to Jacob like, yeah, you gotta have sex with me tonight. Go ahead.
For surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes.
She said, I hired you. I bought you tonight with the honey packs that I gave to your other rib.
Yeah.
I gave these honey packs to your other rib. What that mean? You mine tonight, nigga. Go ahead.
And he lay with her that night.
So now he like, all right, no sweat. I'm going with you tonight. I guess that's what it is. Go ahead.
Verse 17, and God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the fifth son. Verse 18, and Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Isupk.
Issachar. My hire. Go ahead.
Verse 19, and Leah conceived again, and bare Jacob the sixth son. Verse 20, and Leah said, God hath endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun.
Balawa, meaning dwell with me. So now she gave the honey pack to Rachel, but it didn't work because she had 2 more sons with Jacob. You got a question? You got your hand raised? All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
Verse 21, and afterwards she bare a daughter, and named her and called her name Dinah.
Dinah. So Dinah is verse 34, or chapter 34. You have to read about Dinah, chapter 34. Keep going.
Verse 22, and God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened her womb. Verse 23, and she conceived, and bare a son, and said, God hath taken away my reproach. Verse 24, and she called his name Joseph, and said, the Lord shall add to me another son.
Joseph meaning my reproach. So now Joseph is the father of Manasseh and Ephraim. Later on, she had one more son, which was Benjamin or Benjamin, and she died having Benjamin, right? So as she was giving birth, she passed away. So I believe she had 3 sons, I can count them, but she only had 3 sons to Jacob. But that was her whole life. That's what she wanted in life, to have children by Jacob. You know what I'm saying? The love of her children superseded herself and who she was and her own countenance. You know what I'm saying? She went crazy to have children by Jacob. And because her sister had children first by Jacob, she lost her mind. Who knows if she would have been with Jacob first? What would we be today? There would be no Leah. Leah had 6 sons and a daughter. You dig what I'm saying? Like the Lord is moving and we just don't see him moving. You know what I mean? He's making plays and we don't see the plays coming into fruition. We think we just, you know what I'm saying? We just going with the flow. But the Lord got it all mapped out. We sitting here today because of these women and this man. You dig what I'm saying? I had so much more that I wanted to get into today. Dang. We only got 12 minutes left. Dang. Let's go to First Samuel 1:1. Matter of fact, hold on. Go to 1 Samuel 1:5.
1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm. Wait, start at verse 2.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah,
Mm-hmm.
and the name of the other Peninnah.
Mm-hmm.
And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children.
So Hannah is the mother of Samuel. Go ahead.
And this man, verse 3, and this man went up out of his city yearly to worship
Mm-hmm.
and to sacrifice unto the Lord
Mm-hmm.
of hosts in Shiloh.
This is Passover. Go ahead.
And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there.
Okay, drop down to give me verse 5.
Verse 5, but unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion,
Mm-hmm.
for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb.
Go ahead.
Verse 6, and her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret,
Mm-hmm.
because the Lord had shut up her womb.
Go ahead.
Verse 7, and as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat.
So now when she would get up there, I'm saying the women would make fun of her because she didn't have a child, or she was barren, or her other wife, so her husband's other wife, you know what I'm saying, would make her feel bad because she didn't have children, right? So she didn't eat. Go ahead.
Verse 8, then Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou?
Mm-hmm.
And why eatest thou not?
Mm-hmm.
And why is thy heart grieved? Am I not better to thee than 10 sons?
So he's like, yo, come on, man. Like, come on. Why you crying? You know what I'm saying? Like, so what, you don't have children? You got me. You think what I'm saying? Am I not better than having 10 sons? Why don't we just have this relationship and we just be us? Like, it's things to look forward to in this relationship. So what, you don't got no kids? That's what a man would say. But in a woman's mind, she ain't trying to hear none of that. I don't got no children. I don't got no kids. I don't got no sons. I'm nothing to you. She has no value to him with no sons. And the other wife had sons. So she feels less than. What?
Verse 9, so Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh,
What?
and after they had drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Go to verse 11.
Verse 11. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will thy give unto thine handmaid a man child.
So now she's praying to the Lord and asking for a son. Go ahead.
Then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life.
So she's saying, if you give me a son, I'm going to sacrifice this son to the Lord all the days of his life. All he's going to do is serve you. I'm going to make sure that. I'm going to make sure he serves you. That's it. So now she's sacrificing the rest of her son's future and her future for this son. Go ahead.
And there shall no razor come upon his head.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth.
He saw her mouth. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved.
So she's speaking in her mind. She's thinking in her mind. She's talking low, like she's mumbling, but her lips are moving. Go ahead.
But her voice was not heard.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, Eli thought she had been drunken.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. And Eli said unto her, how would I be drunken?
How long?
How long would I be drunken?
Go ahead.
Put away thy wine from thee.
So he like, man, she's tripping. You just like saying the crackhead. You ever see a crackhead talking in the street? Like, you like, look, they high as hell, right? So in this case, he thinks she drunk because she on the street just talking. And she's looking up, just talking. And he like, damn, how long you gonna be drunk like this, sis? I mean, like, are you drunk? You okay, sis? Go ahead.
Verse 15. And Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit.
She's like, man, I'm just down bad right now, man. Like, I'm in a bad spot right now. I'm not drunk. I'm just hoping that the Lord will help me through my situation. Go ahead.
I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord.
Right.
Verse 16. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my
go to 2 and 12 real quick. Read that.
First Samuel chapter 2, verse 12.
Go ahead.
Now the sons of Eli of Belial, they knew not the Lord.
All right, so go back to where you were. So Belial is like Baal. It's like worshiping Satan. They don't know the Lord. So she's saying, count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Baal. Don't think I'm out here worshiping Satan, or I'm not, of the Lord. Right? Go ahead. 16 at the Baal or Belial.
First Samuel chapter 1, verse 16. Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Verse 17. Then Eli answered and said, go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. Verse 18. And she said, let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad.
So after she left, she spoke to the Lord, she prayed, and the angel of the Lord came to her and spoke to her. And he was like, don't worry about it, go in peace. I'm saying, look, whatever you ask the Lord for, you're going to get it. So you're going to get that son. And that son that she got was Samuel. And we all know who Samuel was. Samuel, was a heavy hitter. Now, I was giving y'all parts of these stories because I really wanted to identify or highlight the women in these stories, the mothers in these stories, and what they did, the struggles that they took to have these children. We read about the mother of Moses today. The mother-in-law of Ruth, who know we're both great people. We read about the mother of Samuel. We read about the mother of Samson. We didn't go to Solomon, did we? Don't worry about Solomon. We read about Jacob's children. We read about the mother of Jacob and Esau. We read about the mother of men that became so great that we're speaking about them today. You know what I'm saying? That's how heavy the job is of a mother. You're bearing the children that will become somebody great. So as we raise these children, just know who you're raising. Know who's in that stomach. The person that's in that stomach can be the next Christ. We read about the mother of Christ today too. You know what I'm saying? These are the parents of people that became pillars in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? The Bible wouldn't stand without these men. You know what I'm saying? So just as men have a job, sisters, you have a job as well. These sisters was sacrificing everything to be mothers. They threw everything on the table. And when they had these children, they did everything they could to make sure they survived, to make sure they did the right thing, got them in school. You know what I'm saying? They took care of them, helped them out, helped them become something great, stood with the man. The John, that was with Manoah, she went right to him. Yo, it's a man of the Lord outside. He said, the baby is a baby coming. We're going to have a baby. And he's going to be somebody great. She went right to her husband. You know what I'm saying? You got a job to do too, sis. And your job is to be somebody that your child can look up to. You know what I'm saying? That your child can be proud of. That's your goal as a mother. Now, in this Bible, you know what I'm saying, we don't get a chance to talk to those sisters much, you know what I'm saying? But don't think that you don't play a part in these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Your part is heavy. You know what I'm saying? We all got our own glory. Like the moon has his glory, the sun has its own glory. The trees have a glory, the wind has a glory. You know what I'm saying? Everything has its own glory. The trees can't be the wind. The wind can't be the sand, can't be the water. It's all have its own glory. So don't think that just because you're not the water, that the sand isn't great in itself. And I pray y'all understand what I'm saying to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So if you're the sand, be the sand. You're the water, be the water. You're the fire, be the fire. You're a tree, be a tree, goddammit. Because they all have their own glory. If you're a woman, be a woman. If you're a man, be a man. You know what I'm saying? Play your part. But you gotta know what your part is. The only way to do that is to read these scriptures. Once again, we the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. We go on these scriptures every week, these records every week to prove who we are. You know what I'm saying? Any lies that may have been taught to you by the church or by anybody that you may have known, we're here to dispel all those lies. You come here and ask any questions you want. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, we're gonna bring a topic up every week, every class. And the topic gonna be for you to take notes and learn. Try to fight Satan, because Satan won't come for you, especially y'all troopers. Satan on your bumper. You know what I'm saying? Every day you got to deal with Satan. And the further you get, you think Officer 50 is, you know what I'm saying, your aspiration, you have 50 demons on your heels. You want to get to 500, it's going to be 500 demons on your heels. You want 5,000 demons on your heels. You know what I'm saying? The more responsibility you aspire to get, that's how much trouble you got to deal with. That's how much Satan is going to be on your bumper. Right now, you're a trooper, be a trooper. Learn discipline. Learn how to say yes, sir. Because when the day comes when you don't know how to listen, that's the day when you fall. You think I'm saying? So as a young man, you learn simple things like discipline. And trust me, that takes you a long way. You know what I'm saying? And as women, we also need to learn discipline. You know what I mean? So if there's not no questions on, anybody online? Was there any questions online? I know we bouncing around today. I had so much I wanted to say. We might do a part two. The next one I might have to get a little bit more structure. You know what I'm saying? But is there any questions online? Any questions in the room? Trooper, right? Student, young man? Yeah, you a trooper too? You a young man too?
So when it say, and there shall no razor come upon his head, what does she mean by that?
It's a vow of Nazarite. So when they take the vow of Nazarite, that's you're not getting shaved.
Like the ultimate Israelite. You don't
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like that. As a Nazarite, you don't drink wine. Yeah. I mean, so the mother don't drink wine, and you don't drink wine. Any other questions? What's your name? Alex, right? What's your name? Aaron? Anything y'all can buy? Huh?
What if you have twins?
What if you have twins?
Man, what's a question earlier?
Uh-huh.
The only one. What if you have twins?
Well,
We talking about the kids. When it comes to how long the time, 40 and 80, you got twins.
What's your mom?
well, if you have a girl, then it's 80 days. So if you have what's the twins called? Where they're not the same? Fraternal twins. If one of them is a girl, then you 80 days. If it's two boys, then you 40 days. All right.
No, but what if you have a boy and a girl?
80 days.
Okay, so you just go with the girl.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That was it. All right. With that being said, pass it off to YAHANNA.
You can, bro.
I'm here to do.
20th, Durham, North Carolina.
We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to school, they are off limits 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 month period in which a brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'asharah, which means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests. Now mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like and whatever size Bible. Upcoming holy convocations. Passover. 55th annual Passover, April 20th, Durham, North Carolina. If anyone wants to,
if you need a ride, get with Gabawar.
if you need a ride, get with Officer Gabawar. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, pants, headband, shirt, and scarf. And a scarf. These are security announcements.
All right. We're going to start the Lord's Prayer real quick. Imagine, which means to stand. Point your eye with thumb, which means turn the face to the east. That way. We'll set up the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shimka, Yahweh, Malakwathka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kowal, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathalanau, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalaklanau, Kawafnau, Kasalaklanau, Kawafyanau, Wala'ah, Tabi'ayanau, Manasai 1, Abo, Hawashai Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahapara, La'awalamyam, Aman, in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For that is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. So, which means to turn. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Ma'am Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua Barakatah, which means Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yajimatah, Saw, which means to turn. Men of Israel, one of the sisters, one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Mami Shabbat, Amaji, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatah Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shema. Yahweh. Sorry. Yahweh Shema Latah Hashem Yahushua.
Judge Matar, Pastor Smith.
Yo, he's funny, yo.
Who's Smith?
He's so funny.
What's she doing?
He was saying her prayer. She was like,